There I am. I'm back being live. Did you guys miss me? I've been out of town for a couple of days, but I wanted to come back and start going live again. I have so much to share with you. I'm just going to share a little bit in this video, and then we're going to go right on to that sweet little thyroid of yours. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, it's always something that's in the back of my mind because I suffer from thyroid issues myself. But over the weekend, I was at our Beachbody Coach Summit and saw a man win $100,000 for a weight loss transformation he went through. And part of his issue with being overweight was that he had a hypothyroid. So that means it's underactive, it's slow, it slows your metabolism, all kinds of things like that. He was depressed. The thing that made me so sad was that he said that his kids couldn't put their arms around him when they wanted to hug him. And that really kind of hit me hard. Because not saying that you're going to get that huge if you have underactive thyroid, but there are like 12 million people out there that have thyroid issues that don't know about it. And I don't, he didn't really share into if he knew prior to this that he had a thyroid issue, but so many people don't know about it or don't take it very seriously. And I didn't at first. I was 19, 20 years old. And, my mom had thyroid issues. She had 80% of hers removed in high school. So she said to me one day, she says, your neck looks a little swollen here. It looks like you could have a goiter. You should have your thyroid checked. So sure enough, I go have my thyroid checked, and it is like outrageously crazy overactive to the point where they would put a piece of paper on my hands and the paper would shake. And at this point in time, I worked at a nursing home, giving old people baths who would turn the heat on in the middle of summer because it would be cold. And let me tell you, you are hot when your thyroid is overactive. Hot, sweating. I'm going to go over some of the symptoms of overactive and underactive because I've had them all. Sweating. My eyes were like bulging out of my head. I was so thin. Dangerously high resting heart rate, 160s. Not good. My hair was falling out. Gonna go there. Had diarrhea. I'm going there. It's almost like, you can't really leave the house. Diarrhea, okay? You're just real edgy. Your nails can be brittle either with both hyper and hypo. So, I start to be treated for the hyperactive. Okay, now most people think, oh, well, when you're hyperactive, you're really, really skinny. That's cool because I'll never gain weight. The reason why you're super, super skinny when your thyroid is seriously overactive is because it's not where it should be. It's not controlled. So I started freaking because they put me on medication. I was on heart medication and thyroid medication. And I started gaining weight, and I thought, oh God, it's going underactive. They're gonna switch my medication. Nope, not underactive. So of course, you get pissed off because you don't want to gain weight. It's like your body's power center. It can mess with fertility, your weight, your cholesterol, your heart rate, your mind. Trust me, yes. So if you don't take care of it, it is not good. Taking care of it is going to pay off. And I've come in contact with so many people that are like, well, I'm almost underactive, so I'm not going to go on the medication yet. Or I'm almost overactive, but I don't want to gain weight. Well, you're really jacking up more than just your weight in that, okay? Yes, hypothyroidism can cause you to gain weight and not lose it if it's not under control, okay? If you're under control, then you should be good. Your metabolism should be fine. So here we go. My heart rate still doesn't come down. I'm on the medication. So the doctor says, let's do this radioactive iodine. I couldn't even think what the heck it was called. So we're going back like almost 18 years or so. Take this pill, radioactive iodine, ding, dang, doom. I had to take off work because I was radioactive. I worked in pediatrics at the hospital. I couldn't work with them. And one thing that really ticked me off, and to this day it doesn't anymore, but it ticked me off at the time, was I was going to get this job as a nurse's aide in the hospital. And I say this to other people. And if you get pissed off, I don't care. I got pissed off, and guess what? I made a change. She said to me, because they give you a physical before you get this job. And they're like, why is your heart rate so high? What's going on? And at that time, I was trying to get everything under control, but it was so out of control that they said to me, oh, you're Melanie. You're the one with the thyroid issue. We were wondering how you were going to take care of our patients when you can't take care of yourself. Now at 19, 20 years old, when someone tries to put you in your place, you want to punch them in the face. But now I kind of say that to other people, like, if you don't take care of yourself and your health, how do you expect to take care of other people? Go ahead and get pissed, because I got pissed and made a change, because I thought, if I don't make a change, I won't have a job and I won't have any money. That's where I was at with it. Not, if I don't make a change, I might die. Okay? Health is very important, and your thyroid is very important. So after I had the radioactive iodine, they take you back, you do some more blood tests every so many months, and I go back and they're like, oh, hey, you're underactive. Oh, fantastic. Great. I don't remember exactly how many months, but more than likely this is what happens. It destroyed all of my thyroid function. I have no thyroid function, and I am not severely overweight. Okay? That is something that could happen. You could have joint pain. You could be very tired when you're underactive, depressed, lethargic. My hair falls out in clumps. I joke because I'm like, I don't know how I'm not bald. I really don't. If you were to see the hair that comes out when I brush it, comb it, shower, the drains are disgusting. It's like pulling out a Wookiee out of the drain when we have to, So, I have my kids get checked for it also, because obviously my mom had issues. I have issues. Are my kids going to have issues? I don't know. Don't mess around with it. Don't miss a dose. I missed a dose or two during the winter. I feel like I said this not too long ago. And went and had a blood draw. So I go like every 6 months. And it's been under control for quite a few years. I've had the same dosage. If your doctor says get your blood tested every 6 months, you make sure you do it, okay? Because if it gets a little out of whack, which is what happened to mine, and my doctor kind of jumped the gun, I think, and said, we're going to up your medication because you're starting to go overactive. And I was like, all right, fine. So I was on that medication. They said, let's check it in a couple weeks. Normally when they switch it, they check you in a couple weeks. Don't discredit that check. I went back, got checked. They said, okay, it's coming back down. Let's bring the medication down a little bit. I wasn't exactly back to where I was before all this happened. And then, lo and behold, guess what happens? I start feeling strange and unusual side effects. I was having shortness of breath. I was feeling palpitations. I was feeling dizzy. So I would check my pulse. Okay, it's my pulse now is I'm lucky if it's 60 beats a minute, which is perfect. That's great, considering it was 100 beats more a minute. So imagine how fast my heart is pumping to get blood through my body at this time. How it's overworking at that time, at 20-something years old, and I wasn't giving a crap in the beginning. Will I ever suffer long-term effects? I thought that this is what was happening. So I go to the doctor. They give me an EKG. The EKG is irregular. Okay, I have family history of heart disease. My father, at 41, suffered a heart attack. So is this something that's coming along? I'm 41 right now, okay? So this was last year at 40. I was like, I just don't know what's happening. So yes, shortness of breath, palpitations, those kind of things are things that can affect you with it being overactive. So I go to a cardiologist. The cardiologist says, well, he discredits the fact that I'm a female. Oh, well, you're a female, and, they don't usually have heart issues. And I was like hell they do. We're going to check this out because I want to know what it is. You have to be your own advocate. If the doctor says, oh, your levels are normal, everything's fine, and you still feel weird, you may not be within these levels. You may feel normal up here. Your doctor needs to know that. Your doctor needs to understand that. So I wasn't really happy with the cardiologist, but he ordered some tests, so I was happy with that. I had to wear a 48-hour Holter monitor, so I had to write down every time I felt these palpitations, what I was doing, So here I am teaching classes and training people with this Holter monitor on. It looked great. I had to explain it to everybody. Everything came back normal with that. Whenever I was feeling the palpitations, nothing showed up on the EKG. I had a cardio echo, which is like an ultrasound of my heart. Everything worked there. So I was relieved to know that it wasn't my heart. But it just goes to show that your thyroid can mess up so much stuff. When I was pregnant with my third child, I had to go for, well, it ended up being 6 ultrasounds because they found out something was wrong with her. But all of a sudden they're like, oh, do you know that with thyroid issues you can have second trimester miscarriages? So that's something that could mess up with your thyroid. I didn't know that. I'm on my 3rd kid. Nobody ever told me that. So that, everything turned out fine with that. But that's news. Like, oh, this is a side effect of a thyroid thing? Yeah, getting pregnant, staying pregnant, all those things. You don't want to mess with that. So I go, Holter monitor's off, heart's okay. I'm like, all right, fine, it's the thyroid. I was good. I was like, I'm satisfied that it's not the heart. Find out that, yes, what probably happened was because I missed a dose or 2 of medication. This is how serious this stuff is. Don't mess around with it. A dose or 2 of medication, and within that following week went in for a blood test. It jacked up my levels that quick. So now they put me back down on the level I was on before all this missed dose. I'm still underactive. I still have no thyroid function. Like dry skin is a side effect of it, the brittle nails. Some people have really sore joints and stuff. I don't have that. I think that's more of if it goes over into an autoimmune category where I'm not in that. But I mean, it's, Hashimoto's, they call mine Graves' disease. Then you can go into adrenal fatigue. Don't mess with this stuff. Go get it checked. If you feel like you're having, I'm going to read these symptoms to you, okay? And I'm not saying I'm a doctor or anything like that. I've kind of gone over like the sweating, the jittery, the restlessness, those kind of things so here's hypothyroidism. This is when your thyroid is slow. Now, just because you're gaining weight does not mean you automatically have a thyroid issue. It could be. There's 12 million people that are not aware of it. But let's just go here. Your hair is going to fall out. You can't think clearly. You can have a goiter with hyper or hypothyroidism. I had it with the hyper. Reduced heart rate. So I'm going to say if you're under 55, mine's like 60, that's good for someone who is active and stuff like that. Sensitivity to cold. Oh my God, my feet are always cold. I don't care when it is. My feet is cold, my nose is cold. In the wintertime, my hands stay cold. Weight gain, dry skin, puffiness, memory problems, constipation. Remember, I went there with the hyperthyroidism. It wasn't constipation, it was the opposite. Ladies, not men, irregular menstrual periods, severe PMS, depression, mood swings. And some doctors put that off to, oh, you have PMDD. Okay, well, can we check some things? Joint and muscle pain, high cholesterol. Fortunately, I don't have the high cholesterol because I really watch what I eat. This will mess with your metabolism, I'm telling you. Hypo, don't play around. Hyperthyroidism, overactive. Hair loss for both of them. Bulging eyes. They were like, and a lot of times it's like pressure on your eyes and your vision. They always say if you have a severe change in your thyroid, go get your eyes checked because it changes the pressure of your eyes so your vision can change. I'm not like blind Coke bottle glasses type thing, so it's never really affected me there. I think I've been lucky because in the beginning I didn't know what the heck was going on. I guess it was so out of whack that it took a while to get it situated. But I think I was lucky to where it never went one way too crazy or the other way too crazy to where I didn't have all of the signs and symptoms. I think when I was hyperactive, I probably had the worst of it. Okay, so we have the tremors, heart palpitations. Remember 160 resting heart rate? Yeah, check that one out. Heat intolerance. Oh my God, I was sweating. I can remember, like I said, giving the baths in the nursing home. They'd be like, I turned my heat on because I knew that you were coming to give me a bath. And then I was like, oh, right, I'm going to melt. I would go back up to the nurse's station, turn on the air conditioning unit, and literally lay across it because it was that hot. Shortness of breath. Then we're going to go to the diarrhea again. Increased appetite. I don't really remember that too much. What I do remember was, and I don't know if this had to do with my thyroid, or later on down the line, I had my gallbladder removed, so that actually could have been the start of that, and I didn't realize it. I remember I would get like really hungry, And if I was unable to eat right then, I would feel sick and couldn't eat. Okay, so yeah, I was hungry all the time. I'm still hungry all the time, whatever. Irregular menstrual periods, muscle weakness, sweating, anxiety, nervousness, depression, mood swings. Don't let someone be like, well, she's just a bitch. She doesn't have thyroid issues. Well, you can be a bitch too and have thyroid issues. Yeah, I went there. Get it checked. Don't mess around with it. I had one woman that said, well, my doctor said I had probably a thyroid issue. And I said, are you taking medication? And she said, no. And I said, turn yourself around, go back to the doctor and get on medication. Because people think that if they're overactive, they're going to stay skinny, so they don't want to take medication for it. Wrong way to think of it. People think if they're overactive, they need to be on the higher doses of the medication so they can lose the weight. Not real true, okay? Once your thyroid is under control, and I mean get it under control, find out. It's going to work against you, but don't give up. Like, if you're not taking medication and you're working your butt off to lose weight and all this stuff, and your thyroid has a problem, you're going to take one step forward and about 5 steps back. It's not 2 steps, it's 5. Okay, so here I have this little list here. That's why I'm looking over here. Here's steps that you can help not to control your thyroid, but to keep you in tip-top shape, to where if you have a thyroid issue and you're not aware of it, things can be like in this spectrum, not this far where you can't even see my hands, like way bigger than this, to where they have to get you back to here. You want to stay within a good level. I mean, if you're way overactive or way underactive, it's going to take a while. So be patient. So you want to maintain your iodine levels. You want to have, there's iodine in seafood. You want to make sure that you go to the gym so your metabolism stays up. You want to make sure you're eating right. Try managing your stress. I know that that's easier said than done. Keep your BMI under 40. I actually have another number that I shoot for, but we're just going to say 40 for now. As much as you try to stay within that category, if your thyroid is not in check, none of that's going to help you. I don't care what you try to do, it is not going to help you. So if you feel like I'm stuck and maybe it is my thyroid, don't be afraid to go ask your doctor to run a test. I mean, how many? 12 million did I say? 12 million people have it, and that number is probably higher now. They have it and they're not aware of it. So this is something that you really have to take seriously. I'm going to come at you with some health issues that I've gone through and give you my tips on it. I'm not a doctor. I do play one on TV. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to be able to say, like, yes, you have it, Susie Q. Go get checked now. But funny thing, though, is I had this one client that was talking to me, and she's like, I just can't seem to put on weight. Really? You don't hear that often, okay? And I mean, she wasn't, like, super skinny. She wasn't super heavy. She was probably just right. Little tall, little skinny for how tall she was, but, she's like, I want to build muscle, and, she's like, working out, she's like, I can't believe how sweaty I am and how hot I am, and she's like, I'm shaking. So I'm saying to her, of course, I'm like, when did you eat last? I want to make sure that the blood sugar hasn't, like, dropped, and it clicks, and I'm like, wait a minute, have you ever had your thyroid checked? No, I haven't. I said, it sounds like a lot of the symptoms and signs I had. So it might be worth it to go get it checked out. What would it hurt? I mean, besides getting pricked with a needle, if they do it right, it doesn't hurt bad. Look the other way, whatever. I think it's like 1 vial or 2 vials of blood. But know what you're getting tested for, TSH, T4, T3, thyroxine, whatever all these other things are. And I'm going to do another post on that, on what blood tests I get and what they're actually for. And maybe I'll take you guys along on my next blood test next month. Woohoo! It's just, there's just so many things, so many factors that come along with this stupid little organ right here. This little butterfly-shaped thing that could really jack you up. So if you know you have an issue, go get it checked. Maintain it, get it fixed. If you think you have an issue, go get it checked, okay? You have to, I'm not kidding, you have to be your own advocate, because if I go back, now my thing is like, dude, I can't sleep, okay? And that's a sign of, hypothyroidism, just being restless. I'm like, I just can't sleep at night sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, cool, I can sleep, sometimes I can't. Is it my thyroid? Is it that I have other issues going on? I don't know. So he checked. And another thing that you need to check for, which I didn't know about this, it's always a learning process. Never be afraid to learn about yourself. One of the last times I went to have my blood checked, when I was telling him everything, he says, because you're tired, I'm going to check your iron levels, which those were fine, okay? But vitamin B and D, oh my God, they were so low, not even funny. So I have to take vitamin B and vitamin D. I have to take B12 in a liquid because the absorption may not be working right. So we're going to see what happens next time I have my blood drawn and see what, I don't know, maybe a shot or something. I don't know. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but maybe my body's not absorbing it correctly. So that could also cause the fatigue and the mood swings. That your vitamin levels really can have issues on how you feel and stuff. And it's also a side effect of the thyroid issue is the vitamin B and D deficiencies. So all of that in a nutshell, because I think I've talked for a long time. I appreciate you guys all staying on here. Get it checked if you think there's something going on with that. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor. Don't be afraid if they don't let them be like, no, that's not it. You're fine. There was one time where I explained everything. Now, mind you, I have another doctor. Explained everything. They ran the blood tests. His medical assistant called and said, the doctor said everything's fine and your symptoms are not your thyroid. Have a nice day. And I was like, y'all know what that means if you watch Friends, don't ya? I got a different doctor. I feel like he should have called me. I wanted numbers as to where I was on the little scale, like you're this and you should be this, so you're only... Ask. Don't be afraid to ask. But I was just kind of like, we're not going there. So get it checked if you think you have an issue. Maybe it's not a thyroid. Maybe it's something else. You never know. But don't just be like, oh, I'm overweight. It must be my thyroid. Or, I'm not going to check it because I'm overactive and I don't want to gain weight. Don't be stupid, okay? This is your health you're talking about. Just like that lady told me, how would we expect you to take care of our patients when you're not taking care of yourself? Let me piss you off and go get it checked, okay? I'm pissing you off right now. Go get it checked. Take care of your damn self before you take care of everybody else, okay? It really aggravated me, so I'm going to aggravate you guys enough to go and care about yourself because that's where you have to do that first. But what I went back to in the beginning was all of the things that I learned over this weekend and where everything's going and all these new products and these new workout programs that are coming out and oh my God, these weight loss transformations. People won like $100,000, guys. What would you do with $100,000 for putting in the work and putting forth the effort and losing weight and transforming your life for the better? That's what happened this weekend. So that's why I wanted to bring up because the guy had a thyroid issue and he was bummed because his kids couldn't put their arms around him and hug him and he lost don't quote me on this one. I want to say 104. I could be more. It could be wrong because there were so many different stories that went on, but I just remember his kids couldn't hug him. So take care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. If you think someone you know has a thyroid issue and you think that you should share this with them, please share it with them. Tag them in it. Stay tuned for all of my new upcoming events and super cool prizes that are coming out this month. It is now August 1st. New month, new goals. Set them, write them down, kick some butt with them, okay? That's what I want you guys to do. My book is coming out this month, my little downloadable book. Don't worry, that will go crazy. So keep your eye out on the page. I'll be talking about it. I'll let you know when it's up there. You get your little downloadable book for your 5-day busy mom workouts is what I'm calling it because moms are busy and they want to work out and they want to stay in shape. So I'm showing you a way to do it. Keep an eye out. You download it and print it and it's yours, okay? Let me think what else I have going on. I can't even think because my mind is like, woo, it must be the thyroid. So anyway, I'm going to leave you guys at this because, like I said, I get long-winded. But when it comes to things like this, I want you guys to know what I've gone through and how I've fixed it and how I am maintaining it. So remember that. Your health should come first. It didn't for me for a while. Keep that in mind. Share this with someone that you think could benefit from it. And I will see you guys tomorrow, because now I'm back to live every day. Last week was crazy. I was out of town. I tried to go live, and it went to my regular page, and it only went for 2 seconds. So the internet was not nice to me. I tried to go live with one of my workouts. The internet was not nice to me in the room. So now it's going to be nice to me, hopefully, because I'm at home. So I will see you guys every day this week, hopefully right around this time, 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish. And have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.